Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Asmadgurubhyo Namaha श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः श्री मेधा दक्षिणामूर्ति स्वामिने नमः ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम. We will also chant the three Mangala shlokas which Adi Shankara has composed before we go into the meanings. Satchidananda Rupaya Krishnaya Krishtakarine Namo Vedanta Vidyaya Urave Buddhi Sakshine Krishna Dvaipayanam Vyasam Sarvalokahite Ratam Vedabja Bhaskaram Vande Shamadinilayam Munim Sahasramurte Purushottamasya Sahasranetrananapadhabaho Sahasranamnam Stavanam Prashastam Niruchyate Janmajaradi Shantyai. So in the last class we were discussing about dharma, the meaning of the word dharma. And as I was telling you, this dharma is a very, very vast connotation. I mean, has a very vast connotation. Very broadly speaking, we can say that there are two types of dharmas. Samanya dharmas, which are general dharmas applicable to everybody. And then there are Vishesha dharmas, which are applicable to specific classes or groups of people. This little bit detail we saw. So, a simple definition of dharma, if at all we want to have, is dharma can be understood as those thoughts, those words, and those actions which are the cause for the peace and happiness of an individual and also for the maintenance of peace and harmony in a society. So this way we can understand what the entire ambit of this word dharma is. That which promotes the individual peace and happiness, and that which also promotes and sustains the peace and harmony in the society. Whatever thoughts, words, or action which does that, you can call it dharma. In the Shastras, it is called dharana dharma. That which upholds the peace in the society, sustains the peace in the society, is called dharma in the Shastra. And for this, everybody should do their own swadharma. Their own duties which are assigned to them based upon their stage in their life, based upon their status in their life. Whatever dharmas are told in the Shastras for an individual to follow, an individual should follow all those dharmas. If everybody follows their own dharmas or assigned duties, there won't be any conflict in the society. So society will automatically be in harmony. All conflicts today we are seeing is because Many people, instead of following their own dharma, they are following somebody else's dharmas. And when you do that, you become competitor to somebody else. And competition always gives rise to conflict. That's why our culture is not a competitive culture at all. We don't believe in competition. We believe in coexistence. It is coexisting culture, not competitive culture. This competitive culture we have imported from outside. And that's why we are all having all these kind of problems in our life. One of the reasons, right? So one must keep one's mind very alert throughout the day, from morning till night. That's very, very important. That's why, this Gayatri Mantra Japa is done by many people, especially people who are consciously following all these dharmas. One of the main thing they will do is keep on chanting Gayatri Mantra in their mind. When they do that, automatically the thoughts will not go anywhere else. They will be fixed on the Gayatri Mantra. Right? So we won't go into the wrong paths and all. And their prayer is what? Yaha naha dhiyaha dharma marge prachodayat. Tatvarenyam bhargaha dhimahi. That is the prayer they have got. So this is what is the general, you can call it a very broad definition of dharma. So we should keep going on in the dharma marga. We have to be alert. A little bit of carelessness here and there, we will be derailed. There is no compromise at all in our living, in our behavior, in our attitude. No compromise we should be, we should entertain. Just because somebody is saying, it doesn't matter, only one day, that we should not entertain that thought at all. Imagine if the sun takes this attitude, one day I will not rise. It's okay. 365 days, every day morning I am rising and setting in the evening. One day I will skip it. What will happen to the world? Just imagine. Similarly, when we want to live a life of dharma, the life of dharma is a life which is very close to the nature. So this regularity, this awareness and a discipline to do things has to be imbibed and has to be practiced. That is what is a dharmic life is all about, right? So this was a simple explanation. Now let us see what Adi Shankara says about the word dharma. He gives a very involved explanation of this word dharma. As we have seen the Bhashyam, I will repeat the Bhashyam. Dharma means abhyudayaha nishreyasaha utpatti hetu bhutan chodana lakshana. That is what he defines dharma as, right? Abhyudayaha means basically karma phala. The results of all the karmas that we do. Karma phalam is what is called abhyudayaha in the Shastra. You can call it ihaloka saukya phalam, which gives you happiness, which gives you a peaceful life in this world. That is abhyudaya. So basically it means doing all the Vaidika karmas, whatever has been prescribed in the Shastras as one's Samanya Dharma as well as one's Vishesha Dharma, following all that religiously. So if I do puja well, I will get a result. If I talk very nicely to everyone, I will get a good result. I will be also happy. People also will be happy to hear me talking to them very nicely. So Abhyudaya basically means a good and happy living in this world. And it includes all types of positive behavior. In fact, if you have to use a phrase from Bhagavad Gita, it is amanitvani gunani. Amanitvam, Madambitvam, Ahimsa, Shanti, Rajavam. All this Bhagavan talks about 20 qualities in Bhagavad Gita. Those qualities one should imbibe and one should practice. And if you follow Dharma, you will automatically get the Sattva Gunas. Your content of Sattva in your life will increase. And when that increases, Tamo Guna will get reduced, Rajo Guna will get reduced. So the whole spiritual journey is all about all the sadhanas that we have are prescribed in the Shastras for us to follow is all about increasing the predominance of Sattva Guna in our life and reducing the involvement of Rajo Guna and Tamo Guna. Does not mean that Rajo Guna and Tamo Guna will become zero. That is not the case, because that can never become zero. You require a degree of Tamo Guna for you to take rest and sleep. Without that, you will never be able to sleep. Similarly, you require a degree of Rajo Guna for you to carry out your day-to-day activities, including waking up, brushing your teeth, taking bath, eating. All that Rajo Guna is required. But our object should be increase the Sattva Guna so that we become contemplative, meditative, non-interfering with others' lives. All those qualities will increase when the Sattva Guna component increases. And all these dharmas, or what you can call the karmas which are prescribed in the Shastras, they all aim at increasing this Sattva. That is how the scheme of the Shastras is, right? So in this world, these dharmas produce a happy and a very good life. And all these are told in the Vedas. I mean, Vedas is a complete encyclopedia of the dharmas. The entire Karma Kanda talks about Vaidika Karma, the Vaidika dharmas only. And if we follow them, what we will get? Dhanam, Dhanyam, Pashum, Bahuputra, Labham, Shatasamvatsaram, Dirghamayu. All this we will get. That is what in all Ashirvada mantras and all we get, whenever we get blessings in any puja or any karma. These are the blessings. So when you follow the Vaidika dharmas, all these dhanam, wealth, dhanyam, food to eat, pashum here you can call it either cattle those days, or here we can say pashum represents all sides of material wealth. Dhanam can be cash wealth, and this is material wealth like house and cars and whatever it is, whatever you wish. Then Bahuputra Labham, lot of children, grandchildren you will get, because they are all source of happiness, at least experiential happiness they are, isn't it? Then Shatasamvatsaram, Dirghayu, you will live long, healthy life, with all your faculties properly functioning, if you follow all the Vaidika karmas, right? So our occupation will prosper, and as I said earlier, our children will be there, they will live with us, they will support us. All those things, you can leave it to your imagination. What are good things you wish, all that you get if you follow the Vaidika dharmas. And if you just go back to our initial lectures, this Abhyudaya represents three Purusharthas: Dharma, Artha and Kama Purusharthas. So whatever we do in our life for fulfilling these three goals, the goals of security, Artha, Kama, the goals of our desires, whatever we wish to have, possess in our life, and also the goals of earning punya in our life, Dharma Purusha. All these three goals put together can come under the definition of Abhyudaya with Adi Shankara is talking. Okay. And in fact, this entire Karma Kanda has been analyzed. That's what we call Mimamsa, analysis of Karma Kanda. And they have written 3,335 sutras, which is called Dharma Mimamsa or Dharma Sutras, they are called, right? They are also called Jaimini Sutras. And it starts Athato Dharma Jignasa, means now starts after learning all the Vedic mantras. Atato means after, Ataha, after learning all the Vedic mantras, properly, now the Dharma Jignasa analysis, inquiry into these Vedic mantras is going to start. That is the first sutra in the Dharma Sutra. And they have analyzed all the mantras, what is the purpose of the mantras, what those mantras will lead to in terms of their results. All those analysis has been done, right? And if somebody sits to read those sutras and understand, and that too, Adi Shankara has written a bhashyam for that also, it will take some few, at least 15-20 years for us to read that completely and understand, right? Adi Shankara has written a bhashyam. There is another great, Acharya, Kumara Bhattar. He has also written a bhashyam on these Jaimini Sutras. So there are many commentaries, in fact, for the Karma Kanda Sutras. Today's problem is we don't have anybody who will read all that and then explain it to us, right? We have got enough people to explain Vedanta, which is the what you can call Brahma Sutras. But Karma Kanda Sutras, we don't have hardly anybody. Maybe in Kashi and all, there may be some scholars who may be able to do that. But then we also should have the time and the patience to learn all that, isn't it? We need people to listen to that also. Anyway, so even though Shankaracharya does not say it explicitly here, we can extend the meaning of Abhyudaya to Paraloka Sukham also. Paraloka Vishaya Sukham. Now, Paraloka can mean two things. Paraloka can be the world which we will go to after our death. Our Jivatma will travel to a certain world. And if we have got a lot of punyas, then we can go to Swargaloka or Brahmaloka and all that. Vaikuntha, we can go. But going to those lokas does not mean that you are getting moksha. Even though the stay in those lokas will be there for a relatively long period of time as compared to the stay in the earth, in the Bhuloka, still, after that effect of those karmas on the basis of which you went to those lokas, when they when they become weak or they were exhausted, you will come back to this Bhuloka. That's why it said, Kshine Punye Martya Lokam Vishanti. So going to Vaikuntha and going to Swarga Loka, it is not a permanent residence. It's also a temporary residence only. But it's a transfer which can extend for a longer period of time. And there you can have similar to what we have in the Bhuloka, all enjoyments, things like that and all. Material enjoyments, everything can be there. In fact, it is said that in Swarga Loka, nobody is unhappy. They will all be very happy. Everything is available. Puranas and all describe what all things are available in the Swarga. So we can enjoy all that and be very happy. But all those happiness is only, again, in terms of time, a temporary happiness only. And also experiential happiness only. Once that is over, come back to the square one, Bhuloka. That is what is happening. That what happens. So when he is talking, Adi Shankara is talking about Abhyudaya, we took the meaning Ihaloka Sukham. We can also including Paraloka Sukham. And Paraloka Sukham, the other meaning we can take is the next birth. Wherever we are born, in whatever form we are born. If you are born as a dog, then the Paraloka Sukham will be, you will be born as a dog in some big film actor's house, where you will have your own air-conditioned room, all these things, silver plate, you will be given milk and all this, whatever dogs eat. So like that. And the dog will be sitting in, traveling in air-conditioned BMWs and whatnot, Mercedes Benz and all, whereas we will be traveling in the local transport bus. And sometimes when we'll be looking out of the window, the dog will be also looking out of the window with its tongue outside, as if it is what you can call taunting us. See, even though I am a dog, I am traveling in a BMW. Whereas you, being a human being, you claim yourself to be the highest, species in this earth. You are traveling in this local bus, and that too, you don't have a seat to sit. You are standing and holding on to some strap which is hanging from the top. So the dog, it will look as if it is having all these thoughts in its mind. So the Paraloka Sukham can be taken as another birth in the earth itself, but a more comfortable, more happier life as compared to our present life. So this can also be interpretation can be right. So, though Shankaracharya does not talk, he only talks about Ihaloka Sukham, Abhyudaya, right? So the meaning of Abhyudaya can be taken as Ihaloka Vishaya Sukham. Vishaya Sukham is very important, material happiness. And Paraloka Vishaya Sukham. Both these meanings can be taken. So Artha Kama Dharma, this is what they refer to. Happiness, experiential happiness, even though it is temporary. But if somebody does not want to be reborn, and he does not want to go to Swarga and Vaikuntha also, he says enough is enough. I have seen all these things in so many lives. I don't want any longer. I want an escape from this. Then Shastra gives Upadesha for that also. So for those who want to live with lot of desires, the relevant dharmas are given, prescribed. And if someone says, I have done enough, I have fulfilled all my desires, I have no more desires. I don't have any attachment to anything. And for such a person also, the Shastras give the dharmas to be followed. And that is what is called, Adi Shankara calls, Nishreyasaha. Nishreyasaha means the moksha purushartha, the fourth goal of life. And what is that? It is understanding that these worldly pleasures, this dharmartha kama pursuits can never give me permanent happiness. They can never give me full happiness. Understanding that fact and reality of life is the first step in this following or pursuing the moksha purushartha. There will always be obstacles in my happy moments. I will never have continuous happiness. Happiness will always be mixed with probably more painful and more miserable experiences. And when we have those experiences, we will even forget that we were happy just a while earlier, that they are so overwhelmingly miserable and sorrowful, those experiences. So the first is understanding this fact of this life on this earth as a samsari. This is the first step in the moksha purushartha. Because this understanding for some to come for somebody is not easy. For that, first of all, you have to understand that these worldly pleasures are not 100% perfect. This itself, lot of people will not understand. They will always think that these worldly pleasures, these sensory pleasures give very perfect happiness, and that's why they keep on chasing them. And they don't have the, I would say, the discriminative faculty to understand that last time when I chased this, it didn't give me permanent happiness. So why should I chase this again and again? That discriminative thinking doesn't come to them at all. In fact, you will see in a house, if there are two people who are in favor of all these shastric dharmas, there will be three people who will be against all these. They will say, all this is all nonsense. I don't believe in it. That is why this moksha purushartha is not meant for everybody. And that's why Tattvabodha talks about sadhana chatushtaya sampatti as qualifications required for this pursuit of this moksha purushartha. So that requires certain preparation, certain attitudes, certain sadhanas in our life for this pursuit of this moksha purushartha. So if we want pure and eternal happiness in this life, while living, Shastra says choose moksha purushartha. Forget this dharma artha kama. Forget this abhyudaya business. Go for nishreyasaha. That's what Shastra says. So nishreyasaha means discarding or understanding the limitations of this dharma artha and kama purushartha and choosing, opting for the moksha marga. That is what is nishreyasaha is all about. Nitaram shreyaha nishreyaha. That which is most exalted. Shreyaha means most exalted permanent goal in life. So Shankaracharya uses these words, Abhyudaya, Nishreyasa quite often. In many commentaries of his bhashyams, we can come across these words. Because his focus is always that you human beings understand the limitations of all that you are doing, go for moksha purushartha. That is what will give you eternal happiness, permanent happiness. So that is what he is a Jagat Guru. So he will certainly, lead us or guide us towards the right path, right? So this word dharma, coming back to that, can be now what he said, abhyudaya nishreyasa utpatti hetu bhutan. So artha kama phala prapti hetu bhutan. On the one hand, abhyudaya, and also jnana phala prapti hetu bhutan. This is the cause. These dharmas are the cause for the result, for getting the results of the good results of the artha, kama, and dharma purusharthas, and also the result in the form of moksha of the moksha purushartha. This is what the abhyudaya nishreyasa utpatti hetu bhuta means. Okay. So hetu means the cause, right? So now some people, they were there existing at that time also. Now also they will say, How can the same act, these dharmas, give two widely different results? One will keep a person one type of dharmas. The artha kama and dharma, the dharma purusharthas will keep one in bondage. And another one, the moksha purushartha, will liberate the person. So how can the same thing, how can one achieve, completely different results by following the same dharma? This will be the question, right? And this question is also answered in the Mimamsa, in the analysis which they have done. In fact, I'll go a little detail. There is a Mimamsa, there is a Nyaya in Mimamsa. Nyaya means a logic, right? In this analysis, in this Mimamsa, which is called Sayoga Pratakva Nyaya. The same thing can be used for different opposing purposes. For example, we have got money. That money, lot of money we have got, suppose. We can use that money for gambling, horse racing, and doing all sorts of adharmic activities. We can use that money. Or the same money can be used for doing lot of dharmic activities like charity, poor feeding, educating the children, poor children, giving donations for good causes. Money is the same, but they can be put to opposite uses. This is what is called Sayoga Pratakva Nyaya in the Shastras, right? So, the same thing, Shastra says, logically, if you think about it, can be used for both the things. So, the same dharmas, the Vaidika karmas, which has been prescribed, can be used either for gaining this dharma, artha, kama, moksha, dharma, artha, kama, purusharthas, or the same Vaidika karmas can be used for gaining chitta shuddhi, which is the first step in the moksha purusha. That is why the Sandhya Vandana karma which we do, it is not a purushartha, it is not a karma which will give any gains. Sandhya Vandana karma is basically a prayaschitta karma, number one. And number two, it is a karma which will give us chitta shuddhi. That's why, like in all other pujas and all, where we have the sankalpam, mamo, partha, samasta, durdakshaya, dwara, Sri Paramesha, Prityartam, Shubhe, Shobhane, Muhurtya, Adhya, Brahmana, Dutiya Parade, and all that. Then we say what? Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, Phala, Purushartham. Then we have got all those things, Dhanam, Dhanyam, Pashum, Bhaputra, Labham. For all that, all karmas are, we say. But in Sandhya Vandana karma, we don't do that sankalpa at all. The sankalpa is very simple. Parameshwar, Prityartam, Pratah Sandhyam Upasishye, or Sayam Sandhyam Upasishye, or Madhyanikam Karishye. This is all. So when you do Parameshwar Prityartam only, there is no desire involved, no kama and artha involved in that. Even no dharma is involved. Many people think that by doing Sandhya Vandana karma, they will earn punya. You will not earn any punya. Sandhya Vandana karma does not lead to punya. It only leads to chitta shuddhi. It is the first step towards moksha because it is one karma you do consciously in a nishkama way without any desires in your mind. That is done only for Parameshwara or Narayana Prityartham, only to please Parameshwara or Narayana, to please this entire cosmos, which is the form in which the Parameshwara, Narayana, or Paramatma, or Ishwara, whatever name we assign, exists. So that aspect we have to understand. So if someone has been actually continuously, religiously doing Sandhya Vandana karma for a long period of time, automatically his mind will turn towards spirituality. He doesn't need to do anything. This Rajo and Tamo Guna will slowly come down, come down. That is the beauty of that karma, Sandhya Vandana karma. That is why everybody you come across, they will say, you do anything else or not, don't leave Sandhya Vandana karma, you must keep doing Sandhya Vandana karma. Because the result of that is something fantastic. Sandhya Vandana karma. Right from, the childhood, if you do it, at every stage the result will be fantastic, because if a child keeps doing it in his school going days and all, his mind will be clear and he will be able to focus on the studies. So like that, the Sandhya Vandana karma is a very, very great karma. So everybody should do it. And if not 3 times a day, ideally 3 times a day, but at least 2 times a day in the morning and evening should do. Because of our Laukika engagements, even that is not possible. At least in the morning, you start doing Sandhya Vandana. Get up early. If you have to go to office at 7 o'clock, get up at 5 o'clock and do Sandhya Vandana karma and leave for office at 7 o'clock. So this is a very important thing when we are talking about this Abhyudeha Nishreyasaha. These karmas will automatically lead us to the moksha marga, prepare us attitude wise, the purity of the mind wise, prepare us for this moksha marga, right? So Nishreyasaha means moksha. Utpatti means that which gives rise to Hetu Bhutan in the form of cause, which I said Abhyudaha and Nishreyasaha, right? And this dharma, the result of this dharma can't be seen by our eyes. They are called adrishta. That is why adrishta means which cannot be seen. They are adrishta power, unseen powers which drive our life. And they are stored in a hard disk within our body itself. We don't know where it is. You can't access that hard disk. Only Parameshwara can access that hard disk. Tattva students will learn about all these things, where they are stored and all that, right? So, these punyas which are there, this dharma, the result of these dharmas, they will give us whatever we want in our life. They will give strength to this body to enjoy all the sense pleasures also. And then Adi Shankara talks about one more aspect, which is they are Chodana Lakshana. The question is, if we have said all these things about Dharma, Abhyudeha, Nishreyasaha, Utpatti, Hetu, Bhutan, and all, where do we get this is the question. Which we have seen, they are in the Shastras. But in the Shastras, there are so many things. So he says they are in the form of Chodana Lakshana. Chodana means, Lakshana means in the form of, characterized by. Chodana. Chodana means injunctions and commandments which are there in the Shastra. The do's and don'ts. That is what is the meaning of this word Chodana. Right? Because as for example, the Shastra says Satyam Vada, Dharmam Chara, Swadhyaya Na Pramadaha, Shraddhaya Deyam, Ashraddhaya Adeyam. So many injunctions are given. Shraddhaya Deyam, whatever you want to give, somebody give with lot of Shraddha, lot of sincerity. If you don't have the sincerity in giving, don't give. Don't give charity to a person in a manner that the person who is receiving it feels miserable and very small before. Isn't it? That is not charity at all. That is your ego satisfaction you are doing. You might have seen, the people, but I really wonder why they do it. They will donate some fans to some temple or some school, and it will be written there, donated by so and so and so in very dark red color letter. The purpose of their donating the fan is not to help anybody, but to advertise their name that I am the person who has donated. It is said in the Shastras that what your right hand gives, the left hand should not know. That should be the secrecy of what your charity work that you do. So anything that's asraddhaya, adheya, if you don't have that attitude, don't give. Shastra says don't give. That's an injunction. So many injunctions, prescriptions are there. Matru devo bhava, pitru devo bhava, acharya devo bhava, atiti devo bhava. So many injunctions, so many commandments are given in the Shastras. Deva pitrkaryabhyam na pramaditavyam. Do not neglect, do not fail to perform all the karmas which are prescribed in the Shastras for pleasing the devas, that is the gods, and also your pitris, your ancestors, your lineage of your ancestors. Never do that. Never fail to perform that. So like this, there are so many. I mean, if you go through the Karma Kanda, you will have a lot of such injunctions. Many of them are appearing even in the Jnana Kanda in the Upanishad. Right? Na nritam vadet, suram na pibet. Suram means liquor. Shastra says you must not consume liquor. Why and all, don't ask. Injunction. Shastra says that is dharma. Suram na pibet is the dharma. Follow the dharma. That's why, some orthodox people, they will not even have this cough syrup like glycodin and all, because there is an element of alcohol in that. They will not have. They are so strict about this. So what I'm saying is, these are the injunctions we'll find. These are the Chodana Lakshana. That's what Adi Shankara says, right? So one has to, and this is not necessarily for this. This is from the point of view of leading a happy and a good life, right?
Guruji, this is Chodana Akshanan or Chodana Lakshanan?
Lakshana.
But in this text, it is Chodana Akshanan actually.
Okay, I must be a typing mistake.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Sorry. Because when I type, some mistakes can come. The whole problem is, whatever I am doing, it is not being subjected to 4 eyes principle. 4 eyes principle is a very important principle in banking. Anybody does anything, it needs to be checked by somebody else for that to be perfect. But here there is nobody for me to check all these things. So it's okay. Some mistakes will be there. Please bear with me. If you have any such doubt, you can ask me. I will clarify it. It is Lakshana. Okay. Chodana Lakshana. And this, following these rules and regulations, is applicable even in our day-to-day life. If we are living in a housing society, there are do's and don'ts, and we follow them. Why those do's and don'ts are there? For you to be happy in the society, and for all the other members of the society also to lead a peaceful and happy life. If you don't follow them, there will be conflicts and fights, which is what happens in every Sunday meeting of all cooperative society, housing cooperative societies, because people fail to follow. So this is nothing new that Shastra is saying. This is this discipline of following the rules and regulations which are prescribed in any form, in any institution, has to be followed. In corporate life, if there you have to wear a uniform, you have to wear a uniform. You cannot say, no, I won't wear a uniform. You have to follow. So like that, this is, once you obey these things, wherever it is, all the rules and regulations, once you follow diligently, your life also will be happy and other people's life also will be happy. And the whole living together will be harmonious, right? But in respect of the Shastras, with reference to the Dharma, it is so vast, as I told you. It is so many places in the Shastras they are found. So we should know where to look for what, or at least take the guidance of people who know, right? So coming back to the Bhashya, what Adi Shankara said, he said, Dharman, I'm not having the textbook, unfortunately, forgot to keep the textbook with me, but it's okay. Let me see where the we read this, no? Vaishampayana Vacha. Yes. 1 second. Yeah. Dharman abhyudaya nishresa utpatti hetu bhutan chodana lakshana aseshena, he says. Aseshena is there in the Mula, in the sloka, right? Sutva dharmana seshena. This aseshena is there in the sloka. That Adi Shankara translates as Katsyena. Katsyena means completely, right? Then Vishnam Kritavan Aseshena Katsyena Papachegani Dharmada Sarvashaha. Another one, right? Sarvashaha is the last word in the first line, means Sarva Prakarehi. That is this Dharma of all.
Pavanani.
Sorry?
Pavanani.
I'll come to that. Pavanani, I'll
Yeah.
come to that. So Sarva Prakarehi means of all types. So in this Moksha Dharma section of the Mahabharata, which I talked about in the last class or the one earlier, for each aspect of this dharma which Bhishmacharya is relating, he tells one story. That's why the 5,000 slokas are there. There are hundreds of stories. So that is what he is referring to here as Sarva Prakarehi. This dharma, the details of all these dharmas. So Aseshena, Katsyena, completely without anything being missed. And broadly speaking, the Shastras talk about 5 types of karmas. They are Nitya karmas, Naimittika karmas, Kamya karmas, then Prayaschitta karmas, and Nishiddha karmas. These 5 types of karmas the Shastras talk about. And the injunction is that people should increase the performance of Nitya and Naimittika karmas and reduce the performance of Prayaschitta, Kamya karmas, Prayaschitta karmas, and Nishiddha karmas. This is what the Shastra's injunctions are, right? So these Nitya karmas are the karmas which one has to do regularly, not necessarily daily. Daily karmas also will come under Nitya karmas, but karmas like once in a month doing the Amavasa Tarpanam, they will all come under Nitya karmas because they have to be performed regularly. Then Naimitya karmas are to be performed on occasions. Certain occasions like, there is a Krishna Jayanti, you do some Krishna Puja, or Ramanavami, you do some puja. Some occasions are there. So you do those karmas. Including, Shastra say that when this Shashtiyabda Murti, it's a Prayaschitta karma, the 60th birthday which we celebrate with homam and all that, that is actually a Prayaschitta karma. At that one stage in life, one milestone in my life I have crossed. So whatever I have done in the past 60 years, oh Paramatma, Ishvara, please, pardon me for that, or make the effect, the wrong effect of that less. That is the prayer in that Shashtiyabda Murti karma. So it's a Prayaschitta karma actually. We all think that it is celebration. It is not celebration. It is actually, seeking the pardon. So what the Shastra says is that this Nitya Naimittika karma increase because these Nitya Naimittika karmas, Naimittika karmas can be upasanas also. They will increase your chitta shuddhi. Whereas this prayaschitta karmas or prayaschitta karmas are necessary, but you have to do it, but keep it less. Only those prayaschitta karmas you do. As I said, even Sandhya Vandanam is a prayaschitta karma. A part of it, not the whole Sandhya Vandanam. Sandhya Vandanam is a composite prayer. Contains everything, including Yoga Shastra. It contains meditation. It contains physical exercise. All three types of Kayikam, Vachikam, Manasam, Sandhya Vandanam karma takes care of it. So, this Prayaschitta karma, Shastra says do it, but don't make it a very, don't for every problem in your life, don't rush to the astrologer and ask him, this problem I am facing, what is the Prayaschitta I need to do in order to remove this problem? Don't do that. Right? You are facing the problem because of your karma phala. When you do the Prayaschitta karma, that karma phala may be neutralized to some extent. But Prayaschitta also is a karma. So there will be some effect of that Prayaschitta karma. So that you don't know what is the effect there. So Shastra says reduce that Prayaschitta karma. Then Kamya karma, Shastra says again at some stage Kamya karmas are relevant. Kamya karma means for fulfilling all your desires and things like that. You have to do that, but slowly wean yourself away from Kamya karmas. In all your sankalpams you do, don't ask for this dhanam dhanyam bahuputra labham and all. Don't ask. If at all you want to ask Parmeshwara, ask for chitta shuddhi. Ask for Brahma Vidya Prapti. That you ask. That's what Shastra says. And Nishiddha karma, he says you should not do at all. Nishiddha karmas are those karmas which are very, useful to us, or they are helpful to us, but they result in harm to somebody else. Some type of black magic and all that practice. I don't know whether they're all real or not, but there are shastras which talk about all these things. So Nishiddha karma, Shastra says don't do it. So these 5 type of karmas which the shastras are talking about, and these prayaschitta karmas are the karmas meant for purifying or neutralizing the papas, as I told you. So here when he says sarva prakaraihi and katsyena completely, what is Adi Shankara is trying to convey is that Bhishmacharya has given a complete exposition of all these types of karmas. And that is what he is referring here as Pavanani. Pavanani means those karmas which are purifying, which are capable of neutralizing the papas. And Adi Shankara says, Papa Kshaya Karanani Dharma Rahasyani cha. Very important 2 words. Papa Kshaya Karanani is easy to understand. So Bhishma has advised lot of prayaschitta karmas for removing the papams. So what we are seeing here is Bhishma has already given lot of upadesha to Yudhishthira on Purusha Dharma, Stri Dharma, Raja Dharma, Varna Dharma, Ashrama Dharma. All these Bhishma has already given the upadesha. Bhishma has also told what types of papas and what type of prayaschitta should be done for those type of papas. Yeah, they are all coming under this Chodana Lakshana. All part of the Vedic mantras. So all these things he has already done. And as I told you in the Sandhyavantara mantra, morning Sandhya says, Suryascha Mamanyuscha Manyupatescha Manyukate Beha Papebhyo Rakshantam. Please, protect me from all the papas. Manasa Vacha Hastabhyam Karmanam Udarena Shishna. Whatever I have done during the night, papa karmas. For that prayaschitta, I am claiming. This is the prayaschitta part of the Sandhya Vandana karma. Similarly, even the upakarma that we do every year, this Yajur upakarma and all, there are also prayaschitta karmas. Okay. So all these things we have to understand has been advised by Bhishmacharya to Yudhishthira. Everything he has told. And he also told, in addition to this, Dharma Rahasyani. This is a very important thing that we have to understand. Right? Because our scriptures contain certain secrets regarding these dharmas. And that is what Adi Shankara refers here as Dharma Rahasyani. So, what are those secrets? So, the moment we say it's a secret, we will all be very curious to know what that secret is. We will leave everything else. All Chodana, Lakshana, we will leave. Prayaschitta Karma, we will leave. Papakshaya Karanani, we will leave. We will come to Dharma Rahasyani. What is that secret? And that is our human nature. If we come, suppose we are joining our family in the dining table. They are already there. But two people are talking in very low tones, so that other people should not hear what they are talking. What will be our reaction? Immediately we want to know what they are discussing. We will not bother about the food which is on the table and the nice aroma which is coming from the food and all. Our only aim is what are they talking? What is the secret? That is the jigyasa which I talked about in Takuva. Curiosity to know everything is one of the important and most, I would say, common human trait. We cannot actually tolerate ignorance. We want to know. And that is the basis for this entire moksha purushartha. That is the basis for our going for this jnana. We cannot tolerate ignorance, so the worst kind of ignorance is self-ignorance. The knowledge about our own self, that real knowledge about ourselves, is the worst kind of ignorance. So that is why the Shastras say, go for self-knowledge. So coming back to Dharma Rahasyani, I'll just introduce this Dharma Rahasyani, give you the examples. In certain circumstances, by certain people, the Shastras permit doing adharma karyas. This is not told generally to the public. But since here, Bhishmacharya is telling, he has asked, Sudhishthira has asked, tell me everything about dharmas. I want to learn about everything about Dharma Shastra. Bhishmacharya has told him all these things, including this Dharma Rahasyani, the secrets which are there in the Shastras, secrets in the form of a permission or I can call what you can call let's stick to permission. For some category of people, under certain circumstances, to do an adharmic act. What that is, we will see in the next class. Okay, I will leave you with this suspense. We'll say the prayers and then we'll have a small satsang. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Thank you all very much.
Namaste. Namaste, Guruji.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank
Thank you, Guruji. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste, Guruji.
Namaste,
Namaste,
Guruji.
Guruji.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Namaste.
Namaste, Guruji.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you.
Thank you.
धन्यवादः रघुजी.
धन्यवादः.
नमस्कार.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody has any questions? I think we have no questions. Okay, then we will wind up this session. Yeah. Okay, then. Hari Om. We will see you on next Sunday.
Hari Om. Thank you, Guruji. Thank you.
हरि ओम गुरुजी.
Hari Om.
हरि ओम.